Hi and welcome. I'm George Pierce, and thank you for watching. This video is a little bit different. The name of my video channel is What's Hot and What's Not, and I've begun to create a video series, let's call it, about Chevys, and then I might go into Fords or whatever and so on after that. But in my opinion, just my opinion, that 50s and 60s Chevys, along with a lot of other cars, were probably some of the most outstanding years as far as like a 57 Chevy, for example. 20s and 30s Chevys are pretty awesome. The 40s kind of, in my opinion, kind of like a red-headed stepchild. They just kind of got left behind. I still think they're awesome. So this particular video, I'm starting with the 40s. I think it's hot, but I think most other people might think it's not. So, but I'm starting with what is not, and then I'm going to move into what is hot. So this is going to take you from the 1940 Chevys. I've got some pretty neat looking pictures, snapshots and photographs and so on of all the way from 1940, 41, 42, or all the way up to 1950. So I've covered 10 years of probably the least spotlighted. They get the least attention, and I think they're still awesome. So I hope you do too. And so let's get right to it. We're starting with the 1940s, and that's a beautiful truck. And you might notice, especially the grille, and that's one of the things that's going to help you to determine the different years as the grille changes. And this is a 41, and you can see that the grille is quite different. The other thing is that on the trucks, again, the grille is quite outstanding. Now here's where you were starting to already see fastbacks. There's just something that's incredible as far as I'm concerned about an old truck. This is a 42 Chevy. Notice the visors. I don't know, I had an old 51 Pontiac that had a visor that was just made it unique looking. And the boxiness, when you get into like a station wagon, it was a box. There's one of the interiors. In the trucks. Now that's been modified, of course, but that's a beauty. That's kind of a plain, but you notice again they're getting a little more streamlined. Each year the grille is going to make a change. So that again, now the convertibles. What I like about the convertibles in the old cars, there's still room in the trunk, plenty of room in the car, and still room in the trunk. The old trucks, they just have, I don't care what year they are, if it's an old truck, to me, they're just gorgeous. And of course now, when you're looking at it, just about any year has quite a special meaning. The convertibles are always popular, and of course red seems to be the most popular color regardless of the year, which it actually is. But this again, you notice the style is starting to change. We're up into 46s now, and we're getting a little more sleek. The front end is still kind of a nose, but each year the grille's changing, and if you notice, the nose is getting cut back just a little bit, even on the trucks. And watch, you'll see as this nose kind of goes back, and the rear end especially gets more and more of a fastback. We're starting to get a little more sleek here. And look at all the chrome. That's something. And two-tone. Two-tone cars were pretty unique, pretty special back then. You didn't see two-tones. I don't know if you love the visors, I do. There's a convertible. Of course, now, if you're watching this and there's a particular model that really catches your eye, stop it, of course, pause it, and drink it on in. But these are typically what, these are certainly what the cars look like in the 40s. But you can see as they change, like especially the 49s, there's quite a change. There's the hatchback. We're starting to get sleek, or the hatchback, the fastback. So it's really starting to get sleek. Some beautiful little Chevy trucks. And one of my favorites right here. That's just an old sedan, but it's beautiful. And of course, that's I believe that's a Fleet line. There's that fastback look. So that gives you 10 years of Chevys, and in my opinion, the neglected years, so to speak. I think they're all awesome. But most people, if they're thinking of a Chevy, they're thinking of a 50s or a 60s, or maybe even back in the 20s and 30s. The 40s kind of get neglected, so I didn't want that to happen. So I'm starting out with the 40s, and I've got more videos to add. Of course, if you would, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It should be, let's see, I got it backwards over here. And that way you won't miss out on future videos, because I intend to do a video on the 50s. I might have to do several, because, there's some really awesome 50s Chevys, and I might have to do several in the 60s. Certainly do one on the 20s and 30s, and then probably one on 70s, 80s, maybe batch those together a little bit more. So there's 1, 2, 3, there are probably 4 to 6 more videos that I'm going to do just on Chevys, then maybe on Fords or whatever. If there's a particular if there's some particular information that you would like me to include, if there's a particular information that you would like me to add, use those comments down below. Go ahead and make a comment if you liked it, if you hated it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. I think the 40s are awesome as far as the Chevys, but I think they're neglected, so I didn't want to see them get neglected. That's why I made them first on my list. And I might not get quite that many views and so on, because they are 40s, but I think they're beautiful, and I hope you feel the same way. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you will subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you again.